What's up, brother? You know, we've been working hard for a long time, you know what I mean? And this is basically makes me happy, and to see my dad that he's able to buy himself, you know, a house with a big private gym. I know there's a lot of things that we could accomplish, and there's a lot of things that we could give back, not only to our people, but to our community. You know what I mean? We got a lot of fighters here. One of our friends painted this. He goes to the first Benavidez boxing gym, the one in Burien. He paints them all himself, so he's a talented brother. So but yeah, this is my dad's design, you know what I mean? This is actually my first time, you know, starting training camp here in this gym.
Stretch it down, pull it up. Ready, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed.
Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez are currently training together in the same camp as they gear up for their much-awaited return bouts in the boxing ring, focusing on sharpening their speed and overall performance.
10 seconds! Super focused, super motivated.
You gonna feel all this shit we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35 for 12.
As preparations move forward in camp, Fan and Boxing reports that Tank has now separated from Calvin Ford and is working alongside Jose Benavidez Sr. This unexpected partnership quickly sparks major curiosity about how such a significant change could impact the champion's mindset and development moving ahead.
It seems like it's official that Gervonta Davis has a new trainer named Jose Benavidez. In this video, though, because there's a lot of conversations going on about what this means for Gervonta Davis as far as his skill set, as far as like his motivation to be in boxing, and whether or not Jose Benavidez Sr. can ignite that fire in Gervonta Davis. Well, in this video, I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about a real reason for what took place in Gervonta Davis's camp. And one of the reasons that he's no longer with Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. And I think it's an important thing to say, because it's not all on Coach Calvin, it's not all on Coach Kenny, and it's not all on Gervonta Davis.
He goes on to reveal a damaging environment filled with betrayal, explaining that the real collapse occurred after informants, motivated by money, made their way into the fighters' close circle. This situation exposes a troubling pattern of greed, where once trusted members started leaking confidential details from the camp in exchange for financial gain.
I have been paying attention to that camp for a while. I know people in that camp. I know people around that camp. And I can tell you without a doubt that the major issue with Gervonta Davis and that particular camp was the fact that there's so many paid snitches in his camp. It was replete with family members and other people who, whenever they got a piece of information about Gervonta Davis, would try to go out and give that information to somebody else in exchange for money. So Gervonta is looking up at the internet, seeing what's being said about him, hearing this information coming out about himself, and saying, man, where is this coming from?
These internal conflicts had been building over a long period, pushing the team to urgently contain the situation by imposing complete silence. A firm media shutdown was put in place to safeguard the fighters' increasingly fragile state of mind.
Originally, and this was a couple years ago, I remember when Gervonta started getting upset with it, and he started blocking people and getting mad about stuff, and he started telling Kenny and Calvin, that basically not to be announcing things, not to say things about who he's going to fight next or what he's going to do next, because Gervonta started getting irritated about that. I also know that Calvin Ford stopped talking to the media for a long period of time. Kenny Ellis stopped talking to the media about Gervonta in that way because they were appeasing Gervonta and Gervonta's desire to have that information kept in-house, right? So to the extent that they were having conversations that Gervonta Davis didn't want to have, they had nipped that in the bud several years ago.
The situation extended far beyond initial expectations, as hidden sources were deliberately using insider information online to undermine his career from the inside. The narrator likens this form of disruption to a well-known mental strategy seen in one of boxing's most historic rivalries.
However, what happened is you have family members and other members in the gym that have connections with people that have Twitter pages, connections with people that have YouTube pages, and they continued, the people with the Twitter pages and the YouTube pages continue to pay these people money for inside information about Gervonta, and he got very distrustful. Now, if you think, okay, well, man, that's not that big a deal. You go and, people know, it happens all the time where you have spies in camp. Like one particular incident that I know about that really enlightened me to that problem in boxing was when Andre Ward was fighting Sergey Kovalev, and Andre Ward was just being very vocal about knowing what was going on with John David Jackson and what was going on with Sergey Kovalev. And he was telling basically, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're drinking this and you're drinking this and you're doing that. And your problem was here and your problem is there. Andre Ward knew the whole thing. How? Because he had a spy in the camp. The problem with that with Gervonta is when you have spies around him in his family, in the gyms in Baltimore, you have people that leak information that are trying to harm him.
Sean Porter discusses the surprising sense of ease Tank could experience within this constantly moving, high-intensity setting. He considers whether that mutual aggressive mindset aligns perfectly with the champion's unpredictable way of life.
I'm not sure if that's a great matchup.
I feel like there's some comfort there.
Is that what it is?
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some
They
comfort
both
there.
killers.
He's down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami, yeah.
It's Washington,
Yeah, he's between
Seattle,
and
Washington,
Florida.
Florida, Arizona,
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
He be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might match the lifestyle of Gervonta Davis, But
Yeah. Surprising to see it. I think but I feel like he's comfortable with Jose.
The conversation moves further as Porter emphasizes the elusive element required to sustain a fighter's inner drive. This developing partnership could become the ideal connection where coach and athlete operate in complete harmony.
And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flipped up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
I don't know.
That's just right off the top of the
He
head.
likes to
seeing
move
that
when
stuff.
he wants to move.
Yeah.
Anthony Byrne raises doubts about the reasoning behind this unusual collaboration, introducing a noticeable sense of uncertainty. The panel then discusses whether the new trainer can genuinely recreate the success he previously achieved within his own circle when working with someone from outside.
That's weird. That's a weird one for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about every.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. Pacheco isn't with him,
And they
anymore,
both are
right?
going.
Yeah.
now.
And they both are.
Shifting to the abrupt split, Sean Zittel acknowledges that the intense dispute with Calvin Ford appears difficult to understand on the surface. He points to the distinct system Ford instilled in his fighters, highlighting the clear brilliance he built from the ground up.
Their business, but I just don't. I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford. Really, I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like
That made no sense, man.
Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off when he had promise. No offense, Truck. You know, much love to you. But when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent. He has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did. And that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer. Even though Calvin didn't move the needle for Jahan Ingram over the weekend. Jahan Ingram lost to Devin Cushing. It didn't look like Calvin had a big impact on him winning. He wound up losing to Devin Cushing. Devin Cushing, bigger guy anyways. But when I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system. There's a way a guy he builds from scratch in the Baltimore amateur program looks. And so that made me lend more credence to Calvin's work.
Zittel finishes by remembering a period when Ford was the only one able to pull the champion out of his lowest, most unproductive stretches during training. This raises lingering questions about how a relationship grounded in deep trust could fall apart so entirely.
I just remember like Tank being in the gym for the Santa Cruz fight, came in heavy and was in Floyd's gym. And he didn't like that spark didn't come and Floyd was trying to get it out of him. It wasn't really happening in the first couple weeks. He had to wait to he had a couple months until the Santa Cruz fight date. But once Calvin came to the gym from Baltimore, he like the spark started and the light came on. And I was like, you know, that's a bond. And I don't know. I'm just, you know, it's like, I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through. And Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. But hey, you know.
As Tank has now begun an intense training camp with Jose Benavidez Sr., a sense of uncertainty continues to surround what comes next for him. Early talks suggested that a major clash with Kid Austin had already been secured, but there has still been no official announcement to confirm it.
This and Floyd Schofield are edging a little bit closer to a fight. What are you hearing from that end?
Yeah, I'm hearing all positive. I'm hearing these negotiations have been progressing in a very positive way between the sides of Gervonta Davis and Floyd Schofield. Now, we have not seen Gervonta Davis in the ring since that disputed draw against Lamont Roach early last year. We have not seen Floyd Schofield in the ring since the stunning one-round knockout over Tevin Farmer last June. There were some plans back in April to get Floyd Schofield into the ring, but he and his father, who's also his manager, who's also his co-trainer, they said, we don't want any kind of stay busy fight. We want a world title fight, and they want that fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. Again, I am told a lot of positive progress to the point that they're discussing dates for this fight. They're discussing September, late September, or early October to match Floyd Schofield against Gervonta Davis for that WBA 135-pound title.
All right, I got one more for you.
Intensifying the situation, Gervonta Davis sent shockwaves through the boxing scene by delivering a direct knockout warning aimed at both Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. This sudden message heightens the tension, prompting questions about which opponent will ultimately step forward to face him next.
I said to this, right? And I don't hide it. I said that I think that there's three people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
Yeah,
right.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me, Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I
feel you, but check this right there. But okay, so you telling me you cracked both of them, right? But I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session.
He didn't get no best of me. He didn't get no best of me. He did not get no best of me.
He jumped right off the plane and sparred Devin. Right off the plane.
No best of me. He didn't get no best of me.
Let me something, man. You can go on the internet.
And you know I sparred him twice. Right.
And Bill
took him out the ring.
And Bill admitted that. Bill and Dad both said that.
Almost knocked him out in Floyd gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you I almost knocked him out in the gym? Did they tell you that?
I don't know, but I ain't hear that.
Oh, okay.
I ain't hear that.
Floyd Schofield Sr. responds with sharp criticism, dismissing the champion's recent media behavior as a weak attempt to cover up what he describes as a withdrawal. He argues that the sudden flurry of social media callouts is simply a calculated distraction meant to shift attention away from Tank avoiding a risky mandatory opponent.
It's a duck. A duck is a duck. He just needed a big diversion to make people believe and look away from him ducking his mandatory person. He ducked us before he had the Roach fight too. He ducked us over a year. So a duck is a duck. That's all I have to say. Because if Keyshawn's supposed to be fighting Devin, why he calling out Devin? If he not moving up to fight Shakur, why he calling out Shakur? And he has a mandatory, so he preferred to give up his belt. So thank you. We have no problem becoming a world champion. The boogeyman and left. He ran. So that's all that shit is smoke and mirrors. They've been calling each other out for years now. All of them. Has it ever happened?
I don't think it's happening now.
So this is just a diversion so people don't look at him like, yo, you really ducked your mandatory.
Schofield Sr. continues his heated criticism, arguing that today's obsession with fame and quick financial gain is damaging the integrity of classic boxing. He adds that abandoning the world title and stepping away from the division sends a negative signal to young amateurs who are working hard for a legitimate opportunity at success.
And that's acceptable. For the YouTubers, yeah, I get y'all. It's about money. It's about fame. Yeah, that's the Floyd Mayweather era. That's the era that's fading out. We of the era that you work your way up to number one, you fight the champion. Because that's what gives hope to these kids in the hood or these kids going through the amateurs. The hope when they get to number one in the ranking, they can have their chance of fighting for a world title. You take that away, then you destroy boxing. So, smoke and mirrors, man. The man gave up his title and hauled.
Amid the ongoing tension, Devin Haney stirred the situation further on social media by sharing a series of cryptic posts suggesting major fights. He began with a brief, hyped, "Let's go," before escalating things with a bold matchup hint involving Gervonta Davis. He then reinforced the message by reposting it with a short caption that appeared to confirm a high-profile clash with Keyshawn Davis. Even with these major hints and apparent announcements from different sides, there is still no clear answer about who Gervonta Davis will actually face next. Meanwhile, David Benavidez redirects attention to his own long-term plan, stating his aim to move back down and pursue Dimitri Bivol, as he sets his sights on dominating the light heavyweight division and delivering the major unification fights fans have been waiting for.
Yeah, 100%. We're going after Dimitri Bivol.
Okay, that's it.
I told you guys that's what I got. That's what I wanted to do, and just so the fans they have something to look up to. That's look forward to. That's why I give you guys my breakdowns, what I'm trying to do, what are my plans. And I told you guys I was gonna come back down and fight Bivol, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now I won 2 more titles at cruiserweight. Now it's time to capture the rest of the titles at light heavyweight.
Responding to circulating speculation about a potential jump in weight, Benavidez shuts down any talk of a move to heavyweight for now, pointing to the significant risk created by the size and power difference. He makes it clear that his focus remains on fully establishing dominance at 175 pounds, with a plan to methodically take on and defeat elite fighters, such as Artur Beterbiev.
I hear a lot of people talking about heavyweight, but these guys, these are big guys. This is an extremely different type of power. So I'm not thinking about heavyweight anytime soon. If I think of heavyweight, maybe that's probably by 5-6 years. But what I really wanted to do is I want to become unified champion at 175 and become a dominant champion at 175. I've been telling you guys I want to get Dimitri Bivol, then Artur Beterbiev, and I know those are 2 fights that all the world of boxing wants to see. So right now that I can make 175 comfortably, I feel like we got to make that happen first.
The situation becomes even more intense as Gio Paya steps forward, directly challenging Benavidez and immediately grabbing the attention of the entire boxing scene. This unexpected call-out adds a new layer of uncertainty, sparking speculation about whether the Mexican powerhouse could be pushed into a dangerous cruiserweight matchup against the division's top champion. At this point, there is still no official word on who Benavidez will face in his next fight.
Definitely. That's the main fight I'm chasing. That is my goal right now. You know what I mean? And until I win that WBO and that WBA and the WBC as well, you know what I mean? That's my goal. You know what I mean? Anyone that says anything else, fine. You know, I want to become undisputed in the cruiserweight division.
The direction of boxing appears increasingly uncertain as top fighters continue making significant strategic changes away from the spotlight. Gervonta Davis has reshaped his entire training setup. Devin Haney is fueling speculation through his social media activity with hints about future high-profile opponents. And David Benavidez remains focused on methodically clearing out his division. With each move, the sport is evolving at a rapid pace, as decisions made behind closed doors begin to carry enormous consequences that could redefine careers and legacies. The intensity between rivals is also spilling beyond the ring, turning into a deeper mental battle where every rumor, leak, or public statement can shift momentum. As these developments unfold like a high-stakes game of chess, fans are witnessing what could become one of the most explosive periods in modern boxing history, where a single misstep or leaked detail has the power to change everything. These pivotal moments may ultimately shape the sport's hierarchy for years to come, leaving no margin for error. It also raises several questions for fans, including whether Tank Davis, leaving his longtime trainer for Jose Benavidez Sr., will elevate his performance on his return, whether Devin Haney's teased fight with Keyshawn Davis will become the most talked-about matchup, and whether Benavidez can successfully pursue Dimitri Bivol to strengthen his legacy. There's also growing debate about whether leaks and inside informants are damaging trust within the sport, how Gio Paya's sudden challenge might influence Benavidez's path, and whether he should even consider taking that risky detour. Many are also questioning who currently stands as the most dominant force across these divisions once the noise settles, and whether social media pressure and accusations of ducking are forcing fighters into major fights sooner than intended. Finally, if Benavidez avoids the cruiserweight challenge, some wonder if it affects his reputation as someone willing to face anyone, leaving fans to share their thoughts and continue the discussion while staying tuned for upcoming updates.